What a shocking development coming in from Karnataka. Listen carefully. Lokayukta found assets worth 30 crore rupees after they raided a former clerk who has barely about 15 to 20,000 rupees salary. 30 crore rupees worth assets of a clerk working as a local employee in the government. The investigation has revealed by the Lokayukta, which is basically an anti-corruption body, that Nidha Gundy, a former daily wage employee, possessed an astonishing amount of wealth. And when I say astonishing wealth, what does it mean? 24 houses. You heard correct. 24 houses, 4 plots of land, 40 acres of agricultural land. Is this generational wealth? I believe not. Is this as per his salary, white money? Clearly not. The assets were registered under his name, also but the names of his wife and her brother. He was, just to give you a background, a former clerk at the Karnataka Rural Infrastructure Development Limited in Kolkata. He's been found to have amassed assets worth 30 crore rupees. Can it be possible if your salary is 15, maximum 20,000 rupees, if not more? The discovery was made during a raid by the Lokayukta officials. Sagai Raj joining me for the latest on that. Sagai, what does one say to this? You know, when we talk about developments and corruption that comes in and it's exposed, but if a former clerk, barely about earning minimal wage, has this level of wealth, how is the Lokayukta investigating it? And I wonder if it's just about the clerk, Sagai. What about the chain trail? First, tell us about what wealth assets have been found and how. All right, we'll go across to Sagai in just a short while. Look at that. That huge building, and I can add here, multiple buildings on your screens right now, belong to a former clerk of a rural development, basically Karnataka Rural Infrastructure Development Limited, KRIDL. This is in Koppal, in Kolkata. Nidha Gundy has been found to have amassed all of this wealth when he's earning barely about 15 to 20,000. And we say that as an estimate. That's the salary base for the grade for the clerk at one of these departments. And with that, he's been able to have at least 24 houses, 4 plots of land, 40 acres of agriculture land as well. Sagai is now back with us. Sagai, tell us more. What all the properties that have been shared by the Lokayukta sources with you, and how are they investigating this further?
Now, this particular clerk was working in one of the government offices, used to earn only 15,000 rupees as a salary, but he had close to 30 crore rupees worth of properties and money in his bank account. And what we get to learn through our police is that he had around 24 houses, 4 plots and 40 acres of agriculture land. And if you notice that he was earning only around 15,000 rupees salary, and with an experience of those many years in Karnataka government or any kind of government office, he couldn't have made this much of properties. And he also had so much of grams of gold which was being preserved in his house. So the Lokayukta police, which had the leads, have raided his house, and they are verifying all those documents, and they are demanding the account of all those properties and money that he has, whether he has earned through his ancestors or his family members, or is it through only his salary. So all these are subject to investigation.
Tell me this, Sagai, because I'm curious if it's just about the clerk. Does this chain trail go higher up? Was there certain money being transferred with regard to this sort of nexus that we see? Because can only a clerk manage to get all of these assets this way or that?
If you notice, most of these properties were in his and his wife's name, and so the Lokayukta police will investigate further the angle that you have mentioned. And if you notice that he had 350 grams of gold, 1.5 kg of silver ornaments, and also he had 2 luxury cars which he had owned, and this all in a tier 3 cities. It's not even a city like Bengaluru, not even a city like Mysore, which are tier 2 cities. It is like a tier 3 cities in Koppal. and he made this amount of property in his experience as a government employee in Karnataka.
But that's the issue here, Sagai, that maybe in the bigger cities, is there perhaps more employees who are under the radar? However, in smaller towns, so to say, the corruption, that also needs to be looked at. For now, one expose has come, and can that lead to a bigger probe? We'll be tracking that. Sagai, thank you very much for this big news.